In the back of the line.
They were there before you got there.
What about the lottery guy that goes to the gas station?
Now, the lottery at the gas station, I will give you that. Now, hey, they got there, they're going through this, but I got, when the Powerball or Mega Millions, whichever one it was up to like $1 billion. I wanted to go in and get a ticket.
Yeah.
And there was somebody with, 20 scratch-offs, a whole bunch of other tickets, and they were sitting there, having the attendant scan every single one, and all you want to do is a chance to throw away $5, right? Because you're not going to win. And it was driving me nuts. But
proceed to the route.
By doing it was just their turn.
No, and that's understandable, I guess, but when you see 7 people behind you, and you got 20 tickets, and then you're looking at John Jansen, and you just want to do
at
one
the stop
ticket.
sign,
You just
turn
want
left onto Laurel Avenue, then turn left onto East Columbia
for
Avenue.
people that want to buy a beverage, and people that want to buy the lotto, and you should have a little self-awareness. That's all I'm saying.
The one that gets me is the individuals that want to cut in line. Whether you're at an amusement park, maybe you're at a fast food joint, or you're anywhere where there is a line, and then they act like they don't know.
At the light,
So
turn left onto East Columbia
all
Avenue.
Of a sudden, somebody comes up, maybe it's just, a little lady or a little dude, and they stand in front
Everybody's
of
looking to you.
Right, but they stand in front of them, and I think they really think that, what is this big guy? He's not going to make a scene, is he?
In 3/4 of a mile, turn left onto Baldwin Avenue.
Don't make a scene. And then they kind of wedge their way in, like they don't know where the line is. Oh, they must have been here first, and they act like you don't see it. That drives me crazy. People that cut in line drive me crazy, and it's the same as being on the highway when you're you know that there's construction coming up, and somebody just is hauling tail in the lane that you know is going to end just to get up there and cut everybody off. That to me it drives me crazy. I would love to take my truck and just drive on top of them. I would love to be able to just squash them while standing in line.
At the next light,
But again,
turn left.
I think they believe the big guy's not going to make a scene.
Right. You're not.
No.
Yeah.
They're just being rude.
Heather, what about you?
Well, I agree with some of those things you said, but for me, it's more of just the common manners. If I hold the door open for someone and they walk through and don't say thank you, I'm like, you're welcome. Simple things like that. Like, I make it known that, like, oh, no problem. Or, like, if they kind of, like, bump into you a little bit, and I'm like, excuse you, like, and they don't say anything, it's like, did you see me standing right here? I was right here. So I'll just say things like that. Well, excuse you, or, like, make it known. Like, just little simple, everyday, common manners. Those are what get me. Also,
in 1 mile,
people
turn
who
right
are
onto
talking
West
on the
Montcalm
phone
Street.
while they're checking out. I think that's really rude. Like, somebody is trying to serve you and ring up your order or whatever it is, and you're sitting there talking to your buddy. I just think put the phone down for a moment, address the cashier or whoever it is, and then resume your phone call later.
What about the guy talking in the bathroom? You're at the urinal, Heather, you don't deal with this, but you're talking to your wife. Yeah, I'll pick up the milk on the way home, honey. Let me finish up here. Meanwhile, the guy's sitting in the stall having to listen to your conversation. That's pretty rude, I would assume. That's very rude.
Is it? To have a conversation in the bathroom? I don't know. I'm sure
As long as they're
it's
not
different
trying to
for
strike
women.
up a
But
conversation with you.
I mean, I find that annoying, not necessarily rude, but I have never spoke on the phone in the bathroom.
which is so shy. In a public bathroom or your own bathroom? Like at home?
Public,
Never talked
sure.
to the...
I may have. I mean...
Go past
I
this
definitely
light,
talked to the
then
phone.
at the next one,
I'll
turn
say this,
right.
I haven't done it doing the deed either way. Maybe afterwards or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes you're on the phone, nature calls, you gotta,
I mean, it might depend
At
on
the
who you're
light,
talking to.
turn right onto West
I mean,
Montcalm
unless
Street.
it's a business call on the toilet, that's for sure.
No, what if it's your brother or something? If it's a family member, you're on the can, who cares?
Yeah,
right?
you
You're
might
in
hear
your
it
home.
hush just for effect.
Exactly. Like, hold on a second, let me take
But
care of this.
in a public place, though, no, because it's very quiet in there, and I don't want to start whispering on the phone. So then whoever I'm talking to knows I'm in the bathroom.
And you're very
Turn right
big,
onto
too.
North
So, like,
Johnson
oh my God,
Street.
that's John Jansen. He won a national title, and he was on his phone talking in the bathroom. Oh, and by the way, he didn't wash his hands. Disgusting.
Yes, that's why I was holding on to the phone.
Oh, my goodness.
I could have set the phone.
How about people who are rude to our hosts and servers at restaurants? Like where it gets loud. We experienced this just last night.
Oh, really?
So we went out to eat, and the restaurant that we went to, you usually is pretty busy, but it's Monday, okay? So their policy right now is they do want you to make a reservation, even though they really weren't needed last night. So the one guy right in front of us before we were getting seated, he's like, "Why do I need a reservation? This place is practically empty." It's like super loud where everybody can hear him and see him. It's like, you were gonna get seated within like 30 seconds, which he did. Why do you have to make a scene? And these poor people, especially now.
Yes,
What
overworked,
they've been through.
trying to find help, and honestly, I think people just want to be heard and seen. And whether it's by whoever the host or hostess is, or those that are around them, they just want to be heard and seen. And if you want to get in the conversation, 248-539-9797, who is the rudest individuals that you run into on a regular basis? Let's go to Tom in Berkeley. Good morning, Tom.
Morning, guys. Yesterday, bank line lady, 25 minutes. I saw that tube go up and down. The only lane open for 25 minutes. And I had to do a deposit.
At the next light,
So I figured
turn
I
right.
might as well wait. And I finally stick my head out. I go into the lobby, lady.
What'd she say?
So how many times did the little pill go up and down the tube?
Oh, I would say 10.
Wow.
Double digits.
Wow, in the drive-thru.
Maybe there was...
Only one lane open because the banks don't even have anybody to work there.
At the light, turn right onto North Johnson Street.
The lane's open anyway. It was a joke.
Hey, Tom, did she steer you down when you told her to go in the bank?
She put her hand out the window and just like put her hand up in the air. And I
Damn,
said,
yes.
lady.
Yes,
She doesn't
you
care.
are number one, Tom. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
At the next light,
I'll
turn
tell you what, we're
right.
going to take a quick break. We got some more phone calls to get to on the other side of this one. And we also want to say congratulations to Brian from Chesterfield, who won the tickets. He heard Dan Dickerson call Miggy's home run. He's going to be going to see the Tigers take on the Toronto Blue Jays August 27th. And if you didn't win, stop by one of Miller Lite headquarter bar listed on 971theticket.com or log on to 971theticket contest page for another chance to win. For all that information, make sure you log on to 971theticket.com. You're listening, 971 The Ticket.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. In Sterling Heights, an accident is reported on 16-mile Metro Parkway westbound just before Mount. And there's also flooding, of course, closing 94 both directions between 96 Jeffries and Michigan Avenue in Dearborn until further notice. For fast service of AC, plumbing, or electrical, call Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. 37 years in the business. Free and home estimates on Train AC and Furnace. Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. Visit mastercraftheating.com. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
The names you trust. The teams you love.
Gotta tell you about something that is a
Starting route to 11491 West Adder Drive. In half a mile, turn left onto North Telegraph
Las
Road.
Vegas. That's right. The D is a great place. We're going there, baby. In mid-August. Can't wait to get back to the D. Play golf out there. They'll sit you up with all the
Go past this light, then at the next one, turn
Joe
left.
Vicari's Andiamo Italian Steakhouse, right there at the D.
At the
Awesome.
light,
Want some
turn
casual
left onto North
Coney
Telegraph
Island.
Road.
But the Lawn Bar's the place. You hang out there. And they got a new sports book there, Bar Canada. It's awesome. We'll be there mid-August. So if you're coming out there or thinking about going to Vegas, go right now. Book your room today, thed.com. It's very inexpensive. Vegas is so much freaking fun. And even if you're not staying at the D, let's say you're staying on the Strip, come on down to Long Bar, Bar Canada, whatever, and have yourself a great time. And if you see Derek Stevens, tell him we sent you, and he just might get you a cocktail. The D Las Vegas. It's the best. Your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Becky Hammond has become the Eric Bieniemy of the NBA, folks. The next head coach who deserves the job more than any other candidate, interviews well, gets great press, but is somehow left standing at the altar. Given that the NBA had 7 head coaching vacancies, this seemed to be the year Hammond, who apprenticed under Greg Popovich in San Antonio, finally got the historic nod. She seemed destined for Portland, but the Blazers made a controversial hire in Chauncey Billups and leaked word last night that Hammond's reviews from inside the Spurs organization were less than stellar. That is awfully hard to believe. Blazers executives are gaslighting us, folks. Meantime, Bieniemy, Andy Reid's offense coach? Yes, but it's going to happen at the right place with the right people at the right time. Looks like it's going to be the same for Becky. Good luck to both of those coaches who deserve an honest shot. I'm Homer Science.
Hey everybody, Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. In fact, over 1 million homeowners took advantage of refinancing or buying a new home with Rocket Mortgage. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase again, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. With an official mortgage review from Rocket Mortgage, you'll see just how much money you can save by making a move right now. Don't look back over these next few weeks and wish that you had taken action. You could save hundreds on your mortgage payments or pay off your home loan earlier than planned. You could even take cash out of your home to pay off high interest debt, complete home repairs, or bulk up on an emergency fund. When you want to secure a low rate, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com. Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states and MLS Consumer Access by 130.
We asked people in Michigan why they got the COVID-19 vaccine.
I am pregnant and wanted to protect our baby boy. I believe in the science.
Protect my friends and help our community.
I'm ready to get back to somewhat normal.
You want to hug my grandma again?
COVID-19 vaccines
Take a slight right turn, then turn right.
Doctors. Find a vaccine
At
near
the
you
stop
at
sign, turn right onto
michigan.gov/COVID
Orchard
vaccine.
Lake Road.
A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services would like to remind you that when you get your COVID-19 vaccine, there may be side effects, like cash prizes, a free vacation, or a trip to the Super Bowl. For a limited time, when you get your vaccine at select area pharmacies, you'll be eligible to win a treasure trove of amazing prizes. Don't miss your shot to win big. Schedule your vaccine today. For details, visit michigan.gov/vax2win.
America is reopening, and the Boston Pops July 4th Spectacular is back. Presented by Bloomberg and Eaton Vance. Join conductor Keith Lockhart live from Tanglewood with fireworks live from Boston Common. Plus special appearances by John Batiste and legendary singer Mavis Staples.
I like the things about me.
Watch and listen Sunday, July 4th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, exclusively on Bloomberg Television and Radio.
I love overpriced stuff. That's why I get my internet from the other guys. What could be better?
Wow is better. Get Internet 200 for just $29.99 a month plus $50 on us at Huawei.com. Limited to new customers with auto-pay and paperless billing. Equipment taxes and fees extra. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
Parents, do you want to save your child's life? 97.1 The Ticket Student Heart Check can help. Make the time to have your child checked. Contact the Ernst Cardiovascular Center at Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak. Learn more at 971theticket.com. You could win the ticket signing bonus. $1,000 11 times each weekday. Powered by BetQL. Win more and cash in more with the help of BetQL. Download the BetQL app today to learn more. That's BETQL. Listen for the keyword at 1/2 each hour between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. Text that keyword to 72881 before the end of that hour. Message and data rates apply, and you could win a $1,000 signing bonus on 97.1 The Ticket. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
Oh, that's right. Stoney and Jansen. Jansen's there. Stoney back on Tuesday, a week from today. John, we have some ticket text about the rudest people on earth.
Yeah.
And then I want to bring something up to you. Gary from Westland says, Rieger, you could have skipped the hole, drove past them if they were that slow.
Yeah, but you paid for 18.
Nobody wants to skip a hole.
You got to play 18.
I shot a 44 on the front. I wanted to beat my best personal record, which was an 87, which I didn't.
But yeah, maybe because you were thinking about it too much.
No, my wife actually called me.
Wow, you playing a par 3 course?
No, how dare you? Tom, I've gotten a lot better since you last seen me. No, but is there anything worse when you're focused on doing something fun, recreational, enjoying yourself, and the wife shoots you a text? And our bathroom is being worked on right now, and the text was, I really wish you would have stayed home. That set my game to crap. It was over. It was over. I was killing it. Then I get to like 12, shaped it in the woods, and it was over.
Text.
Oh, it's brutal. I got a couple more for you. I'm the store manager of a retail establishment. I was working Sunday evening because we're short-staffed. Customers stopped me because one of our windows was dirty. I apologized, said we were trying to get everything done we could. He then got snotty with me. By the way, while talking to him, I was putting on rubber clothes because someone had pooped all over the bathroom.
Oh.
That would classify as rude.
Tom is right. Like, what would possess you to be rude or mean to workers right now when everything we've been through? Then I got a couple more for you. At 248-539-9797. As a rule, you should not be allowed to play excessive lotto before 9 a.m. People are trying to get to work. That's from Tim.
Exactly.
Yeah, what is excessive, though?
Excessive?
What do you
I
allow?
don't know, anything
5?
more than 3?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I preempt a few texts that I know that we'll get? When you got the text message that said, I wish you had stayed home, I'll just put this out there. I believe you're going to see come up on the ticket text here soon a slew of, I'm like Rieger's wife, I wish he would have stayed home.
Let's see here.
I'm telling you, I can tell you right now, it's probably in, if you
No, haven't got any of those yet. Thanks for putting that out there, though. So we're like on a 21-second delay. So in about 21 seconds, I'm sure we'll get a ton of those. Here's the first one. Rieger, you should listen to your wife. Should not have come into work today either. Oh, here's another one. I agree with Allison. You should have stayed home. Oh. Wow, you know your audience.
Yes. Well, more importantly, I think I know your audience.
Yeah, they're all very nice to me. What is it about me that people hate? I mean, honestly, I don't get it. Sounds to me like Rieger's definition of rude is anybody that inconveniences him.
Well, this is more than just an inconvenience. Like, this is golf etiquette. Like, shouldn't you, especially if you're that part of that foursome, there's nobody in front of you, you have 2 behind you, and every time they keep coming up on you. Now, were you to the tee box before they were off?
Yes, we were to the tee box, not to mention we were in the fairway when they're on the green, putting for all the money.
No, I mean, were you to the tee box watching them tee off?
Oh, yes.
So it's not like they couldn't see.
No, all they had to do was say, move on by.
Yeah, go ahead, we'll wait.
Yeah.
We got high dollar plan on
We
this.
got nothing going on.
I mean, you're wrong about a lot. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like they didn't let you play. It really is.
All right. Well, I feel we cured that.
I think
we solved that.
Yeah, we solved that. Yes, you should play through. Well, I tell you what, you mentioned this earlier. We have a list that we want to get to.
Yeah, it is it's ranked from, it's CBS Sports Line, and it's the head coach rankings. Now, I don't know if you guys looked at 1 through 5. I'll tell you where Dan Campbell is. But Tom, John, you want to take a snag at what's number 1 or who's number 1? Unless you already looked.
No, I didn't look at. I looked at the bottom 5, and I knew that we might talk about this, and I didn't want to look to see who the top 5 were. I'm going to guess Andy Reid.
All right.
Bill Belichick.
All right.
Let's see, who wrote the article?
Kyle Shanahan.
No, I think Kyle Shanahan would probably be down a little bit after last year, even though it was injury riddled.
Golden Boy's got to be number 1.
Golden Boy, who's your
Golden Boy?
Oh, superhero, super kid, McVay.
Oh,
McVay is 6.
McVay, so he's not in the top 5.
Shanahan is 11.
Okay. Tomlin, Mike Tomlin?
Tomlin is 8.
John
I'm sorry,
Harbaugh.
10.
Oh, there you go. John Harbaugh is definitely in the top 5.
Yeah, John Harbaugh is 3. Nicely done. So it goes Reid, Belichick, Harbaugh. Quickly 4.
I'm not even going to guess.
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton, okay.
And then Sean McDermott is 5.
Sean McDermott?
That's right. The Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good. So, of course you wonder where Dan Campbell is.
Always wonder.
Yeah, well, how about we tell you after this sports update?
Wonderful. 97.1 The Ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
We are brought to you by Hall Financial. A suboptimal pitching outing for Tiger stunner Matt Manning. Tigers lose to Cleveland 13-5. Manning lit up like a tree. 9 runs on 9 hits and 2 homers in 3 2/3 innings. He gives up. Tigers with 3 dingers in the day, including Miguel Cabrera's career home run number 493. Tonight, Jose Urena tries in front of Tigers in Cleveland. First pitch 7:10 right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Piston Jeremy Grant officially selected to be in the 12-player U.S. Men's Olympic basketball team. College basketball, the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Michigan visiting North Carolina this year. Michigan State will be hosting Louisville. NBA playoffs, the West Finals last night. Clippers go into Phoenix and beat the Suns like a drum, 116-102. Paul George with 41. Suns to lead at 3-2. Stanley Cup Finals game 1. Kucherov with 2 goals for Tampa Bay. They defeat Montreal 5-1. That's the Ticket Update Desk. I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Timbertakes game 1 last night against the Habs. Lightning 5-1 in game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Nikita Kucherov, 2 goals, 3 points. In the NBA playoffs, Phoenix lost to the Clippers last night. They had a 3-1 advantage going in, coming out obviously 3-2. Reggie Jackson, former Piston, 23 points. Paul George, 41 points, 13 rebounds. And as you heard in the update, Detroit lost to Cleveland yesterday. Matt Manning, not a great outing. 3.2 innings, 9 hits, 9 runs, all earned, 2 strikeouts, 2 home runs. Just not a great day in Cleveland for the Detroit Tigers. They'll take on the Cleveland Indians again today. Jose Urena takes the mound for the Tigers. And as I think I read yesterday, his spot is secured to the All-Star break, but he needs to step up.
Well, they struggle to find bodies right now.
Right.
A lot of injured guys, including Boyd, including Turnbull. With that being said, I mean, Jose Urena has been bad the last 3-4 outings. And against that Cleveland offense who just destroyed Tigers pitching, like John, we'll get to it later on in the program, but if you have a chance to take like Indians minus 3.5 runs, 4.5 runs, the odds are going to be pretty good. I'd probably do that because today could be another bloodbath. But before the update with Jeff Lesson, I did tell you, I have a list in front of me. It is the best and worst coaches for this year ranked by CBS Sports. Dan Campbell is 31. He's the second worst, with the only person being worse than Dan Campbell is David Culley, the new Texans coach. Here's what they say about the Lions' first-year head coach. We have little doubt he'll bring energy to Detroit, which is sorely lacking and was lacking with fight under Matt Patricia. Lions aren't counting on big wins from him in 2020 either, but he's never coordinated an offense despite years of tight end work and a brief interim stint in Miami. The locker room may well cherish his NFL background and unpolished aggression, but he's still got lots to prove. Do you believe Dan Campbell deserves to be ranked 31 of 32 head coaches according to CBS Sports?
Honestly, it's so when you look at how they put this list together, a lot of it is on past performance and future outlook. So when you think about future outlook, you're thinking, well, do we really want the 31 ranked head coach in the NFL? But on past performance, the only past performance he has was 12 games as an interim coach down in Miami. Yeah. David Culley, who was ranked 32 out of 32.
Correct.
Has no resume as a head coach, and Dan Campbell has no resume as a coordinator. So if you're going off of, his ability to call plays offensively or defensively and success there, because so many of the coaches, obviously, the typical jump is going from coordinator to head coach. And, we had this great season. Cliff Kingsbury, I think, is the great example. Even though he did not have NFL coaching experience. The ladies like him. But he went from head coach at Texas Tech to offensive coordinator at USC for a minute, and then was the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. But he had a resume of an offense and calling plays and, being somebody that's a decision maker on the field. Dan Campbell doesn't have that. So before the season, really have an issue with them being ranked 31 because it's basically TBD.
So let me ask you this. At 248-539-9797. All right, so Campbell's 31. Yes, I agree with you. I don't think anybody's going to have an issue. He's yet to coach a game as a real head coach, even though he was an interim, as you mentioned. So if you had to choose right now at 7:05 on a Tuesday, in the summertime, months away from the season starting, Campbell going to be a failure or a success?
I think he'll be a success.
What about Tom?
What was the timeline again?
Timeline is when he's here. So just right now.
Overall, in general.
Yeah.
I think he'll get them back to being competitive. It'll be better than the Patricia era. Well, I ain't saying right. He'll get them back to the Caldwell level. I ain't going any farther than that.
The Caldwell level's pretty good, though. I think we would all accept that. I'm going to say, and I don't mean to be a naysayer. I was very positive yesterday. I'm going to say he's going to be a failure because every Lions coach has been a failure.
Yeah, but you can't just, I understand over the past 65 years, that's been the track record.
Yeah.
But you can't start something new going into it thinking it's instantly going to fail.
Well, except if it's in Detroit and Allen Park at 222 Republic Drive. Like, I do like Holmes. I think Campbell's a great quote. He seems like a nice guy. He went to the Ford factory, had him all sign his hat. Like, I like him as a person. Seems like a really good dude. He went 0-16. So you got to believe he knows what Detroit's about. With that being said, the fact that he's never been a coordinator, and maybe that doesn't matter to you, and more than anything else, it's a Detroit Lions head coach. Right. And until you prove me otherwise, I just can't give you the benefit of the doubt. It's nothing personal.
There's things out of his control that are going to dictate this. Number one, I think the worst thing that can happen for him and Brad Holmes is that Jared Goff barely looks like he's the guy.
I agree with that.
It needs to go one way or the other. Yeah. Because that's going to extend things and that could screw up all their decision making. Number two, it's Brad Holmes' draft picks after the first round. You win in the NFL and you win in most sports with picks after the first round. Yeah, the first rounders you need to hit on and they need to be special here and there. But ultimately, you win in sports with later draft picks. And this franchise has not drafted well late ever in my life, to be honest. I mean, yeah, you can pick one here or there, but they're horrible.
Well, and here's what, so moving forward, if he's going to be a success, yes, it does rely upon this year, I believe, is a mulligan. They've restructured the roster as much as they possibly can without preempting the rebuild, right? They didn't want to go out and spend big money. We saw that with Kenny Galladay. We saw him sign Romeo Okwara, but it wasn't too big money, and it was a 3-year deal. Everybody that they have signed is basically here for 1 to 2 years. And then after that, it is you have to show it to stay. And Dan Campbell has talked about that. The players have talked about that. So they're highly motivated, but it's not I wouldn't say it's a talented roster. So Dan Campbell isn't going to be judged on what happens this year, other than the roster isn't that much different than last year. There are some different pieces. They have upgraded, they've downgraded at some positions. But what we need to see from Dan Campbell is that this is a disciplined team, that they don't go out there like we saw last year and play with 10 guys on the field.
There's no excuse that the strength of this team has to be the offensive line.
100% in the run game.
You hope they build a D-line. But this offensive line with the investment, this needs to be a top 5, not a top 10, a top 5, maybe top 3. You've got these 3 pieces locked in for 4 years, don't you?
1.4 miles.
Yes, you do.
Turn right
because they just signed Taylor Decker.
Highway.
They just re-signed Frank Ragnow. They just drafted Penei Sewell. Jonah Jackson at left guard is, going into his second year.
But leave everybody else out. It's about the 3. And I hear you. It's a unit. But if you've got 3 top 5 offensive linemen, you can dominate.
You should, yes. And what happens, too, is that they have them at the right positions, yes. Right? You have it every other. So you've got your center who gets everybody going in the right direction, and you have your bookend tackles with Decker and Penei Sewell.
I know people, it's even hard for me, as much football as I've watched in my life, to know the ins and outs of an offensive line. It's great. That's why having you, John, is going to be great with this, because don't you think that they should really be, that these 3 should make this a top 3 offensive line, but it's putting injury aside?
Yes, and here's why I say that, because Jonah Jackson came in, what was he, a 4th-round pick last year? Third round, and he came in and played well. Why did he play well? Well, one, he came from a really good program. He was prepared. And I think, we got a steal. We found something that worked, but he was also playing between two really good players. Now, Taylor Decker's not a Pro Bowl caliber player, but Frank Ragnow is. You put him in between two players like that, now all of a sudden you get more out of that guard. And I say that because now you have, obviously, Frank Ragnow at center, Penei Sewell at right guard, or at right tackle. Your right guard now, which they paid a lot of money for Vaitai, should play at a higher level than we saw him play last year because he's surrounded by more talent. He is surrounded and should play with more confidence, should be able to feel free to go out there and just let it ride.
And it's completely set up for their quarterback because he thrives off play action. And you got a tight end who it's 50-50. Is he blocking or going out?
I saw a chart yesterday talking about Jared Goff that when there's a clean pocket, he is the best passer in all of football. Which kind of startled me, to tell you the truth. Now, I know there's issues when the pocket closes and when he's under pressure, like most quarterbacks, but he's pretty good when he has protection, so we'll wait and see. But Tom is so right, by the way. There's two things. Number one, with Campbell, timeline is 3 years, right? If I don't see substantial improvement in 3 years when this team is closer to being built, then you start to wonder if you got the right guy. But the other thing he said is about Jared Goff. Like, you either believe Goff's the guy, which I don't think a whole lot of people believe, or you believe that he's just a stopgap until you get your guy. But if he goes out there and tricks around this year and gets you to 7 wins, let's say, which in this division without Aaron Rodgers, I don't think is impossible.
Right.
If he gets you to 7 wins, Brad Holmes already loves him. He drafted him in LA, at least helped draft him.
In 3.3 miles, take exit 16 toward Lazar Road.
You need to find out once and for all, and this is a big year, whether this guy can play, and if he can, I guess you figure out what to do extension-wise. And if you can't, you got to go draft your quarterback.
So here is my thoughts on Brad Holmes as in regards to Jared Goff. We know that he does like him, right? He was part of drafting him. Now, it wasn't his call.
He told Les Snead. He was a big part. You're right.
Right,
No,
he's
you're
a
right.
big part. He didn't make it the final call, but he was a big part. Now, all of a sudden, he comes to Detroit. What do? Now, it could have been just simply that was the only taker for Matt Stafford. That was the best deal. And, hey, throw in Jared Goff. All right, we'll take him. And it just so happened to be that it was Brad Holmes getting that deal done with Jared Goff. What we've seen what I've seen from him is he has made decisions in terms of Kenny Golladay. Would people have loved to have had Kenny Golladay here? Sure. But he decided that it was best for the team and best for the rebuild that it wasn't Kenny Galladay's time to be here. You continue to look at the decisions of going young, of building up front, offensively and defensively. I say that to get to the point of if Jared Goff doesn't blow the doors off, I think that's the only way he is here for the long term as part of this rebuild. He has to blow the doors off. If he's just average or if he's below average, they're going to move on. Brad Holmes is going to move on. He's made decisions to say, this is about the rebuild. It's not about me. It's not about Jared Goff. It's about building a team that is a sustainable winner.
What they've brilliantly done is set it up for Goff to succeed. But if he fails, it's set up for the next guy too. Because of the fundamentals of finally a commitment to building the trenches.
No, but it goes back to the fine line of is he a bust or is he good enough? Because I believe, and maybe I'm the only guy that believes this, I believe that a GM with his first major move, we all have egos.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
About the guy that you trade for. And I understand.
He's not wrong if Goff fails because he got the picks.
I understand. You're right about that. However, it may
Southfield.
Northwestern Highway,
All you gotta do is
frontage
call
road.
855-STRAIGHT or visit straight.org to set up an appointment and learn more. And I personally
Turn
visited
left.
Straith over in Southfield. There is nothing like it in the area. They are only an orthopedic hospital. So you're not there with sick patients. You don't have to worry about trying to find the orthopedic wing of a monster hospital. I even referred my
At the
dad
light, turn right
to Dr.
onto
Fleischman at
Wasser
Straith
Road.
Orthopedics, and I love how he has been handled and gone through the entire process. They also have a walk-in orthopedic clinic in Southfield where you can see an orthopedic physician same day, skip to crowded ERs and to high deductibles. I mentioned it, 855-STRAIGHT to get an appointment. And if you're nervous about meeting these doctors or seeing an orthopedic specialist, don't be, because they offer a Meet the Doctor event every month. This month, it's on July 27th at Andiamo
Make a U-turn on Eaton
Bloomfield.
Avenue.
Free lunch and learn. Go find out. Register at straight.org. I'm going to say it one more time. Call 855-STRAIGHT. That's STRAITH, or visit them online at straight.org. Straith Orthopedics is committed to you.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, new problem has popped up on 94 westbound, the exit ramp to West Grand Boulevard, where there's an accident reported. Meantime, flooding cleanup continues. I-94 both directions remains closed from 96 to Michigan Avenue in Dearborn. The Deck-Go route you can trust to get around it is Michigan Avenue, Ford Road, or even Warren Avenue. Also be on the lookout for more flooding problems, this time the Lodge Freeway southbound right around the Davison. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
At home, in your car, or at work. Detroit's sports station.
How do you keep a workout fresh every day?
Clap it up, Peloton. Let's do this.
By getting everything from endurance rides to restorative yoga, all right at home. The Peloton bike. Nothing like working out from home. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more.
Want to save a lot on your energy bills? Want to have some fun? Well, with the DTE Interactive Home, you can do both. From the attic to the basement, bedroom to backyard, the Interactive Home has tips, tools, programs, and products to save money in every room of the house. It's one of the few ways you can have fun and save money at the same time. Visit DTEinteractivehome.com today. DTE. DTE wants you to reach for the stars. Energy stars, that is. That star on a product means it will save you energy, money, and it's better for the planet. Energy Star status is independently certified to lower both energy use and emissions. As a proud partner, DTE offers ways to integrate these products into your home and even buy some of them from our online marketplace at dteenergy.com/saveenergy. DTE.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-305-6290. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, and have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-305-6290 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-305-6290 to see if you qualify. That's 800-305-6290.
Did you know there's more than one Las Vegas? There's the Strip with families on vacation and questionable odds. Then there's downtown Vegas, the original gambling and entertainment mecca. That's where you'll find the D Las Vegas. Book your stay at thed.com. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
It's Macy's July 4th sale with our lowest prices of the season on summer updates for your home. Like 20 to 50% off outdoor furniture and the Radley 5-piece sectional chaise sofa, $1,999. And get a free adjustable base or box spring with qualifying mattress purchase. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up today at Macy's.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
The motto for world-class competition has always been faster, higher, stronger. It's the same for Navient, makers of condensed condensing tankless water heaters. Faster to install and set up. Higher performance and efficiency to provide endless hot water. Stronger with the industry's strongest warranty. All because of the copper-free stainless steel heat exchanger built in every unit. Learn about Navient's condensing tankless water heaters and find a Navient contractor at tanklessmadesimple.com. That's tanklessmadesimple.com.
Stay in the left lane.
What makes the perfect workout? Being able to ride, lift, and stretch in one place with motivating instructors.
Y'all look so good out there, Peloton.
Classes that always work around your busy summer schedule.
Push Peloton, you got 20 minutes of opportunity on this ride.
Instructor-curated playlists for every need.
Let's turn it up, come on.
Now what if you had it all? Ride at home. The Peloton Bike. Nothing like working out from home. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more.
The morning rush can be a beautiful thing. With the right granola bar, that is. Take a moment and take in the outdoors with Nature Valley Crunchy Bars.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial, and we've created a very unique 5-star process that allows the majority of our refinance loans to close in 10 business days or less without the need of an appraisal. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started now.
Radio.com is now Odyssey. Download the Odyssey app and listen to 97.1 The Ticket and all the sports, news, music, and podcasts that move you.
We're going to get to Heather in just a moment, and at 7:35 we will talk about the reclamation project that is the Lions roster. But Rieger, we got a few ticket texts we want to talk about.
That's right. Here we go. Goff had 1 TD, 2 picks in the playoffs. The year they went to the Super Bowl, 3 games. He's never had a playoff game with more than 1 touchdown. He has as many playoff TDs as Stafford, despite playing twice as many games. Has a lower playoff QBR than Stafford. So there's that one. Here's another one. I have no reason to trust or not trust that Holmes will cut Goff. Something tells me he won't, no matter how bad Goff is. That's a worry. And then there's this one for you guys. Stoney, Jansen, Jamie, Rieger, Heather, Tom. Today is my last shift of residency. I've spent every morning listening to a combination of you on the way to the hospital over the last 3 years. Thank you all for helping me maintain sanity during these trying times. I wish you all the best. Travis Dice, MD. How about that?
Congratulations, Travis. Yes, and thank you.
Awesome. Congrats.
And Heather, I didn't tease you. I forgot. I apologize because we got into some Lions talk.
What are you supposed to tease her about?
I know.
Well, I wanted to hear a little preview.
How did you get some food on your teeth?
Yes.
Do I really have been eating?
No, I'm
a
just
bagel.
Yes.
No. Oh. I was like, I probably do. I've just been eating the messiest bagel ever. Anyway, you guys, on Monday, Governor Whitmer made multiple stops to the hardest hit areas in Detroit impacted by the flooding. And during those stops, she said that the process is underway to determine if Michigan qualifies for federal assistance. She also said that the circumstances in Detroit and other surrounding communities result from decades of underinvestment in our infrastructure. She says that we're not alone. And she also reiterated what Detroit Water Department head Gary Brown said. And he said that the flood was not necessarily due to a lack of maintenance, but a global warming issue that caused the capacity issue that now has to be fixed. So on Monday as well, Whitmer also discussed her My Clean Water plan that calls for $238 million invested into stormwater upgrades, which will help tackle the challenges that we're obviously facing. And it recommends $40 million for climate resilient infrastructure.
Okay.
Did you have any idea on Friday when it was coming down like it was, that it was going to be this bad? Like, this is the biggest flood in quite some time, and maybe I had my head in the sand, but I don't think it was going to be that bad.
I didn't think we knew it was going to be like this. But, I mean, how many times does it rain throughout the course of a summer and some of the roads flood? Like, you knew that was going to happen, but not to this extent.
Ago, we had a pretty big flood. When was that? I remember Royal Oak got hit really, really hard, and it was another, I mean, it might have been now several years because time flies. But no, of course, I wasn't expecting it to be like this. I thought I was just going to get some rain and then,
Yeah, have your normal highway flooding.
Yeah, for sure. So Jalen Rose has apologized after catching heat for making, some controversial comments about the U.S. men's Olympic basketball team last week. So this was during his latest podcast, and he said that Kevin Love only made Team USA's Olympic roster because the NBA was too afraid of sending an all-black team to Tokyo. So he went on, and he also said that DeAndre Ayton should have had Kevin Love's spot, and fans called him out pretty quickly. They pointed out that the U.S. has actually recently sent an all-black team to the Olympics back in 2016, so it wasn't that long ago. And he did apologize in this kind of lengthy Instagram video you can check out, but he still reiterated that Love shouldn't have made the team either way.
There's a lot of different reasons why the roster is made the way it is. And I'm surprised that Jalen would say that simply because he would know there are some guys that just, even though you and I may think it's really special to go to the Olympics and get a gold medal, and I think a lot of people, a majority of people would feel that way, some guys in the offseason just want an offseason. And they don't want to go play. Yeah, I mean, it's a personal decision, and we don't always know what goes into selecting these players.
It is interesting, though, that Jalen Rose could have just come out from the very get-go instead of said, well, they don't want to send an all-black team. He could have just said, I don't think Kevin Love deserves to be there.
Yes.
And then that would have been it.
Yes. Yep. So a game-worn autographed Barry Sanders jersey just sold at an auction for over $55,000. So this was a road jersey. It was worn by Sanders in 1990 in a 225 total yard performance against the Kansas City Chiefs. So bidding at this auction began at $5,000 and it sold for $55,152.
Wow. All right, so 55 grand. All right, how much for a John Jansen game-worn jersey? What do we think?
I don't know, $6-7?
No, you get at least.
Well, the cost of the jersey.
And it's autographed too.
Yeah, maybe a little dirt on it.
Something.
Turf.
Do you have a bunch of jerseys? Like, what happens to all of them after you wear them?
I do have a bunch of jerseys.
Some of them, I'm sure.
They're in a bin in the basement.
Yeah.
The kids for Halloween will tear them out and they'll be dead for Halloween.
Wait a second, you don't have like a bunch of framed jerseys? Like you have a John Jansen room where you go in there, you drink your drink, you smoke a cigar, and you look at your memories?
No, I'm not allowed to smoke cigars in the house. But no, I have some, like key moments. Like I have my high school jersey. I've got my Rose Bowl jersey. I've got my rookie jersey from the Redskins. I also have my one jersey with the Lions. Other than that, there's not much else that went on in that span of 15 years.
You know what he does a great job of, Heather? And this is not an insult. Not an insult at all, but it might come off as one. You do a really good job of being like a normal dude. Like, I look at John Jansen, I don't think about the millions that he made or the $60,000 he put down for a truck in one lump sum.
It's a big wad of cash.
Yeah, I just look at John as a normal guy.
Appreciate that.
That came off as a good thing, I think.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. A longtime Ferndale staple has closed its doors for good. This is such sad news. After 40 years in business, Ferndale said goodbye to Rosie O'Grady's on Sunday night. So the closure was actually announced on Facebook the day before, Saturday night, just hours before the store's last day in business. And the post said that the closure was mostly due in part to the ongoing staffing shortages. This restaurant had been in business for, like I said, 40 years, and staffing shortages is what caused it to go under. I mean, I'm sure there was a few other things as well coming out of the pandemic, but it's just so sad when you hear that. Wow. Of course, this post on Facebook received hundreds of comments, mostly from people who were sad to see it close. Other people were a little frustrated that they didn't get more notice. You know, they got a few hours notice to go and visit if they wanted to one last time. So sad to see things like that close down for sure.
It is.
Okay, we didn't talk about this yesterday. I didn't see it until last night, but this is one of those videos that for me is really hard to watch because I don't like seeing people get hurt. It doesn't matter if there's no blood involved. When I see a nasty injury, it's just really, really hard for me to watch the video. And Cleveland Indians outfielder Josh Naylor, he suffered a pretty gruesome injury after he collided with a teammate during Sunday's game. Have you seen this? You made a little track down this fly ball in right field, right? So he's running for it, but what he didn't realize was that at the same time, his teammate was also charging for the ball, and they basically collided. But then he flipped in the air and he did a couple twists in the air before he came down, and his leg got stuck underneath him, bent all nasty there's slow motion video you can watch now. You can tell that he was in a lot of pain. He was eventually carted off. Yeah, taken off the field on a stretcher. He was taken to the hospital. He suffered a closed fracture and dislocated right ankle.
So they showed this yesterday in the broadcast.
Yeah.
And you've seen a lot of these gruesome Theismann type videos, but this was worse just because you see both guys heading towards each other. You know there's going to be a collision.
Impending doom.
Exactly. So it's this you're on the edge of your seat. What's going to happen? And then one guy, Naylor, gets it so much worse than the other guy. It is brutal.
But it's the way he flipped. Maybe it's because I watched the slow motion one, and it's the way they clipped each other, and that he just went flying in the air, and he did this little. It's just crazy to see it all happen like that. I mean, John, I've seen the photo of your ankle or whatever you did to yourself.
Yeah.
And that photo was hard for me to look at too, because it's similar when you see an ankle twist in the
going the wrong direction. Yes.
Yeah.